So what is the process of her storytelling that makes her so unique?
Well, she has a way of creating characters who maybe are quite different from her readers, but somehow there's something just so immediate about them, and so immediate about the things that they face, that you have no choice but to get pulled into an Alice Munro story. And as you said, things are very finely crafted. You think that she's maybe just, you know, writing, but when you go into the stories and you try to take something out, it's been built so carefully that every little piece of it matters enormously, and you might not realize that till you get to the end.
Right, and so as an editor, of course, it's something that jumps out at you. Now, this fiction by Alice Munro oftentimes involves relationships between men and women, but women not always rewarded for going against the grain, for being unconventional, oftentimes actually punished for that in her storytelling. What do you make of those themes that come up again and again?
Right. Alice likes to write a lot about her particular childhood, which happened in rural Ontario at a time when, you know, as she says it, young girls were not meant to be seen or heard. They were not meant to stand out in any way. And for her to grow up with the kind of imagination she has and the kind of voice that she has, you know, she was outspoken. She wasn't, she was meant to be more ladylike than she was. And, you know, whatever has given her the reputation she has now was not a successful tactic when she was a child.
Right. Now, one of the when I, by the way, tweeted that I would be speaking to you about Alice Munro's Nobel Prize today, one person on Twitter said, ask her about David Gilmour. This is, of course, the Canadian author who 2 weeks ago caused a huge fuss when he said that he only likes books written by, quote, serious heterosexual guys. You have a lot of sexism out there. I mean, even now, you have this Canadian woman, only the 13th woman, by the way, awarded the Nobel Literature Prize. But you still have, in this day and age, people not respecting and not appreciating the literary talents of women.
Right. I really hope that's on its way out. And, you know, David Gilmour can read whatever David Gilmour wants to read. The fact is that Alice Munro is finding readers around the world. And you can see just in the response to the award today how passionate people are about her work and how impassioned by it. And it's not just women. It's male readers, too.
Absolutely. Why short stories, do you think, as a way of expressing herself, rather than long-form novels?
Well, Alice does something really unique in her stories, which is each story is really a novel. You know, it would take other writers a novel to tell this story. She has a way of popping in to crucial moments in a life and popping back out again. So all of the stuff that other writers would use to fill the gaps between these moments, she doesn't need. This is why she's called a master of this form. She's just perfect at knowing what to skip and what's important. And, you know, I just think the novel form was not for her. She knew what she was doing within this word length.
What kind of person is she to work with? What kind of person is she to talk about literature with, to talk about storytelling or life with even?
She's extremely unassuming. You know, she's so she's so pleasant and so easygoing and so on. And then while we're editing a story, she has these moments of steeliness, and then she'll say, yes, that's great, let's do that. No, I think I'm going to leave that one as it is. And you just know that she knows exactly what she's doing. So she's a wonderfully forthcoming person. At the same time, she's very private. So she's a bit of a bundle of contradictions. You would see her walking down the street and think she was just another nice older woman, you know, who might be on her way to a tea party. But inside her, there's a lot of darkness, there's a lot of skill, and there's just an enormous imagination for what goes on in humanity.
And have you spoken to her since this prize was announced?
I haven't. I think she's hiding out.
So that's, by the way, one of the things we've heard is that she hasn't been exactly reachable since the announcement, which wouldn't be surprising to you, right?
No, not at all, not at all. I mean, she's used to living in a very small town and and not getting so much attention.
Well, we congratulate her, and for your work with her as well, by extension, congratulations to you for all the work you've done with her. Deborah Trisman is the fiction editor for The New Yorker magazine, joining us from New York on this day. Thanks very much.
Thanks for having me.
And